Halo Combat Evolved is probably one of the most iconic video games ever made, revolutionising the first-person shooter genre and helping launch Xbox as a mainstream media empire. A game so good it's been released, re-released or remastered 5 times so far. Not quite enough to break a sweat at Bethesda Studios, sure, but still. The most recent iteration of Combat Evolved is 2026's Campaign Evolved, an Unreal Engine 5 remake that updates cutscenes, adds new bonus missions, and changes the gameplay modifiers of the original game. Campaign Evolved came with 58 achievements to grab, and I got all of them. I will say, this might be the easiest Halo game to 100%, and yes, there is a lasso achievement, but I'll get to that later. After unlocking every achievement, I thought I'd offer up my choice and answer the question, what is the hardest achievement in Halo Campaign Evolved? First off, let me answer a question I think some of you might have. Is Halo Campaign Evolved any good? The answer is... The game looks great and I think it plays great as well. Once you get used to the uncanny valley, not quite there, Velma Dinkley, my glasses, I can't see without my glasses filter that is the Unreal Engine 5, the details that Campaign Evolved adds to the environments does make the game feel a lot more realised. There are a few changes to the game, examples being the corridors and Truth and Reconciliation have a different layout, and I have to say the library is a massive improvement. That said, I kind of expected more changes to the game, like maybe some cut content from the original now realised in a modern game engine, or maybe some enemies or mechanics from future games, which they technically kind of do have, but me personally, I wanted more. Hot take here, but I actually liked the bonus missions. So is it any good? For 50 quid? Just play the Master Chief Collection, which is 6 games in one, unless you really want to sprint through the Pillar of Vulcan corridors and turn on a skull that makes the floor lava. I got Campaign Evolved through the Game Pass, so it's hard for me to equate the price tag worth to buying it, but having now completed the game 100%, it'll most likely sit in obscurity in my Xbox library until one of my 2 friends that play Halo pick up this game in a Steam sale. It took me 35 hours and 45 minutes to 100% this, so I got a solid £1.41 of value per hour. Yeah, it's fine. 5.5 skulls out of 10. Anyway, let's have a look at the achievements. Campaign Evolved has no multiplayer or co-op game modes aside from the campaign, so all the achievements are for the main story, the bonus missions and the collectibles. Now, in terms of the simple mathematics of it, the achievement Fully Evolved is technically the hardest achievement to grab because it's unlocked after obtaining every other achievement in the game and serves as the game's platinum trophy. Also, amazingly, the Lasso achievement Mythic is actually not the hardest achievement, but I'll explain why later on. For now, let's have a look at the nice and simple achievements. I played through the entire campaign on heroic difficulty first, which I live streamed by the way, and I have to say it felt more difficult than the original. Difficulty is related to enemies' health, damage, and how many of them there are. I'm actually not sure if difficulty in the original changed how many enemies there were. I don't think it did, but it does here and it's noticeable. Regardless, I pressed on and finished the main campaign. For completing each mission on any difficulty, you get an achievement, so right away there's 10 achievements unlocked, not particularly difficult to achieve. For completing the main campaign, there are 4 achievements, each tied to the specific difficulty you played on, but unlocking a higher difficulty unlocks the ones beneath it. So I got the Greenhorn, Birth of a Spartan and Heroes Never Die achievements for finishing the story on Heroic. Following on from this, there's achievements for completing each bonus mission as well. Again, regardless of difficulty. Doing so gets you the Before the Fall, Tiger Company and Personal Space achievements. That's 16 achievements already unlocked. These are easy enough, you get these just naturally from playing the game. There are other achievements that you'll get too, again just for playing the game unless you're a speedrunner or you play Halo like Cody Miller in 2011. Make them count you get for getting 100 headshots across the game. And I mean, the first weapon you get is the Magnum, so real Halo players should get this maybe halfway through the campaign. Like, This was the third achievement I unlocked. The one before that, finish the Pillar of Autumn. So yeah. Plate Tectonics is awarded for breaking off 25 hunter backplates. The back armour of a hunter can be broken off to expose a weak spot that you can hit to cause significant damage to hunters, because you can't just one-shot them with the Magnum anymore. Now, I didn't actually know this until way later on. So I got this because my strategy was just to run circles around hunters and then beat the shit out of them, because it seemed to be working for me. Claims Adjuster is for breaking 50 vehicle parts, which, again, is pretty natural, unless you ignore every enemy vehicle that you face, which is a weird way to play, especially considering you get a tank in Assault in the Control Room. Bad Gas is given for destroying 100 grunt backpacks. Real connoisseurs of Halo know that grunts breathe methane, and their backpacks will break and spill out gas when you shoot them, which is funny to think about because it means the Covenant can know the Master Chief has been somewhere if the place is just reeking of shit. That's such a fucking dumb joke. You can get That's My Ride by getting to the Banshee and Assault in the Control Room on the bridge before the Elite does. Another classic Halo move. Disarmed is hilariously named because you get it for dismembering 100 flood parts. The flood are greatly improved in Campaign Evolved, which is cool. They have weak spots in their centre, and some elite forms even have shields, which definitely isn't annoying at all. Finally, in this category, there's New Whip for emulating GTA 6 before it gets delayed again and hijacking 10 vehicles. In Halo Anniversary, there were 13 collectible skulls to find across the campaign. In Campaign Evolved, there are 39 collectible skulls, 3 for each mission, including the bonus missions, so a little bit more than last time. Typically, I would use a guide for these sorts of achievements, but this time I thought, nah, I'm gonna find all of these by myself. No help, no guide, no nothing. Thankfully, the skulls emit this ethereal noise which makes them easier to locate, or at least to tell you that you're close to one. Just turn off the music from the audio menu, it makes it much easier. I won't spoil in this video where they all are, mostly because you should go and find them for yourselves because it's a fun scavenger hunt, but also because there's 39 of them, and this video will be longer than the wait for Elder Scrolls 6. For finding your first skull, you'll get the aptly named Cranial achievement, and once you've found 22 skulls, you'll get the upper body strength implying Making a Necklace achievement. Each mission also has one terminal to find, and they all look the same, so they stick out quite a bit and aren't particularly hard to find. Once you find all 3 skulls and the terminal on each mission, including the bonus missions, you'll get an achievement. Then, you'll get the Lore Have Mercy achievement for finding every terminal, Headhunter for finding all 39 skulls, and Collector's Edition for finding every skull and terminal in the game. And that is all the collectibles. Another 16 achievements added to the roster. There are 16 achievements left to grab, with Fully Evolved being our 17th and final achievement. The remaining achievements to grab deviate from naturally playing the game or finding the collectibles and present more of a challenge. This is where we start playing real Halo. Firstly, let's take a look at Beat the Drop, which is for finishing a remixed mission without dying. Campaign Remix is a new addition to Halo where it changes certain parameters in each mission. The story and progression remain the same, but the enemies are changed. Both Covenant and Flood enemies are populated throughout each mission, including Brutes, where they've seemingly had a lovely chat over afternoon tea with each other and settled their differences because they do not attack each other. Weapons that can be picked up from the ground are also changed. Now, this sounds cool, and the achievement has no difficulty tied to it, so it can be done on easy. But if you've ever played the remix mode, then you know about the 100 million elites with swords. So many elites with swords. Some of them are even stealth, so you'll have to watch your motion tracker and look for distortions in the air. Anyway, finish a mission without dying and you're good. Doing so will also get you the achievement Remix for completing a remixed campaign mission just as normal. There are some returning achievements with different names in Campaign Evolved 2, like the Clean Lap achievement for finishing the Warthog run on the Maw without being forcibly ejected from your Warthog. Which, by the way, the Warthog run in Campaign Evolved is amazing, such an improvement in my opinion. There's also the Map Quest achievement for completing the Silent Cartographer without shooting, using grenades, melee, dying, or restarting. You can get this pretty easy, just play on easy difficulty and make use of the Marines and a Warthog to take care of enemies for you. You can even drop down to the bottom of the Cartographer area really easily using the overshields, much easier than the bounce method from Combat Evolved, and then just sprint all the way back up to the top. I combined getting Map Quest with the Frugal Fire achievement for equipping the Famine, Recession and Johnny Ammo Tree skulls, which basically make ammo conservation a mechanic in gameplay, and got 2 achievements in one since I didn't even shoot my weapon. Like Old Times is for equipping the Speed Limit, Endurance Spec, Hipfire and Armistice skulls and completing 2 betrayals. It just removes the ability to sprint, removes zooming in with every weapon, makes UNSC vehicles indestructible, and makes it so the Covenant and the Flood don't attack each other when playing the mission. Just like Old Times. All Shield No Yield is for completing a mission on Heroic difficulty without taking any health damage. Another returning achievement, this one's not super hard. Some people online are saying that you can sort of exploit and confuse the game to get this, but honestly, just play Pillar of Autumn and hang back. Even Tempered is a funny one. You need to turn on the Temperamental skull and complete Halo without upsetting anyone. Temperamental means that allies will aggro to you quicker for killing allied units, so it basically means beat the mission without doing the speedrun tactic of killing all of the Marines. Hot Streak is awarded for completing a mission with the floor is lava skull on without jumping or dying, and if this one isn't self-explanatory then I cannot help you. I did this one on Halo since you spend a good chunk of that mission in a vehicle, and I did do the age-old classic speedrun tactic this time. Arm's Length is given for beating the first floor of 343 Guilty Spark without taking a single hit. Now, it's worth mentioning here that some of these achievements can be done with skulls on, namely the Bandana Skull that gives you unlimited ammo and grenades, so just spam grenades and take your time throughout the level. The hardest part is probably when the Flood are first revealed, because the infection forms can actually sneak up on you. If you put on the Black Eye Skull, you'll be able to see if you've taken any hits, because you have to melee an enemy to recharge your shields. The Flood only start using guns after you descend further into the facility, so it's really just the Covenant that you need to worry about. Jirulhani Conservationist is the challenge achievement for the bonus mission, where we have to finish the mission without killing any rampaging brutes. Brute rampages can be triggered by shooting the device on their chests, so as long as you avoid that, you should be fine. Even if you do, 2 respawning allies accompany you through this mission, one being Sergeant Johnson and his sniper rifle that I'm definitely sure he's done unspeakable things to, so he can just mop up any rampaging brutes that you do come across. Almost finished here, but there's also a secret achievement in Campaign Evolved that is easy to get. Now, I won't spoil it for you, but let's just say it's a good thing that food nipple is waiting for me back at the starship. At this stage, there are 3 achievements really left to get. There are more, but they sort of tie in together. I would probably consider these next 3 to be the hardest achievements. First, This Is My Ship Now is achieved by game-ending Captain Keyes in the Pillar of Autumn, and then trapping the 6 Superman Marines that appear in the ship's observation deck. That's it. Now, in all honesty, this achievement is not hard. You can get this on easy difficulty, but getting the Marines into that small space was such a mental challenge for me. Sometimes they'll react to melee hits and fly across the room, but other times they'll just run back to the door. And you have to get all 6 of them in the space. Not challenging in terms of gameplay, just the raw, unfiltered psychological energy you need to commit to getting this done was much more than I first anticipated. Secondly, we're looking at the mythic achievement for completing the campaign on Lasso difficulty, and through this, we're also looking at Living Legend for completing the game on Legendary difficulty. Now, Lasso is the famous Halo challenge, Legendary difficulty, all skulls on. Lasso doesn't activate all 42 skulls, rather just the 17 hardest difficulty modifier skulls, just as it always has done. Things like Iron, where you have to restart if you die, all enemies are upgraded to their highest ranks, etc. Now, I tried this as a vanilla Lasso playthrough, and all I could get to was the canteen room and the Pillar of Autumn. Yeah, basically the first room that you come to in the mission. Sure, I got the 3 grunts before that, and they suffered, but then it was all just downhill from there. I fundamentally could not get past this room. I mean, I probably could have if I actually tried harder and actually played Halo, but whatever. Hilariously, there's actually a fun little exploit that we can do to make playing Lasso even easier than playing on easy difficulty. You see, in the settings menu, you can make presets that modify the gameplay, and by maximising each modifier so that we deal insane damage and we are dealt little to no damage ourselves, as well as having a bottomless clip on any gun that we use, we can actually just breeze right through the Lasso campaign like an energy sword through a statue of a Roman general. All campaign missions, just flying through them like they're nothing. And the whole time, it's legendary difficulty, all 17 Lasso skulls are on. The 3 bonus missions too, absolutely schooled. Once done, go back into the settings, remove the preset, load back into a Lasso game on the Pillar of Autumn and grab the skull that's right at the start, and bang, Mythic and Living Legend achievements unlocked just like that. Now, is this a sucky way to get these achievements? Yes, but too bad. I couldn't get past the canteen for God's sake. You think I'm playing the whole campaign like this? Yeah, no chance. I probably will try and do Lasso legitimately on Campaign Evolved, but I'll likely do it in co-op, soon as I can suck one of my friends into the endless lore and story that is Halo, cursing them eternally to a life of disappointment and microtransactions just for changing the colour of your armour online. This next achievement though, I did do legit, and that's the Mixmaster achievement. In my opinion, this achievement is the hardest achievement in the game. Remember earlier when I mentioned the Beat the Drop achievement for finishing a remix mission without dying? Well, do that 12 more times because it's the entire campaign this time. Thankfully, you don't need to do this in one sitting or in one chronological order, it'll track each mission individually, so if you get to the library and you suffer your first death, you don't have to restart from the Pillar of Autumn. You will, however, have to restart from the very start of the mission, and I mean restart from the start of the mission. You can't revert checkpoint even if you're quick enough, you can't even restart a mission from inside the game in the pause menu, you have to save and quit and start all over again. Now I did the 10 main campaign missions fully legit for this before discovering that you can actually use skulls, like the bandana skull for unlimited ammo. So I did the 3 bonus missions that way, and it popped. What makes this so difficult? Fucking sword elites. Just so many sword elites. Half of the remixed enemies are sword elites. Hunters? Easy. Flood tank forms? No sweat. Sword elites in gangs of 3 or more that rush you? Screwed. So many times I would be one room away from the end of the mission just to get sprit roasted by 2 sword elites and have to restart all over again. And you know what the funniest thing about all of this is? At the time of unlocking this, the gameplay modifier exploit that I used to get the Lasso and Living Legend achievements would have worked for this as well. So I could have gotten all 3 of the hardest achievements in one go. I guess that means that trapping 6 Marines in the Pillar of Autumn is technically the hardest achievement in the game. I mean, that achievement isn't even really that hard. I don't even know anymore. Probably not. It's excluding Fully Evolved, which, again, is for completing every achievement. Mythic is obviously the hardest achievement to get, assuming you go through it legitimately. But I really do think Mixmaster might be the hardest out with those to do legitimate. Harder than Living Legend, because the sheer sense of defeat when you're killed by a sword elite when you're so close to the end is palpable. At least with Living Legend you can respawn to the last checkpoint. Honestly, if those exploits remain, this is probably the easiest Halo game to 100%. But what do you think? What do you think is the hardest achievement in Halo Campaign Evolved? Let me know in the comments, and while you're there, hit the subscribe button for me for more content just like this. And check out my video where my friend and I got every achievement in Halo Combat Evolved, and stay tuned for my video on what we think might be Halo 2's hardest challenge.